Hey everybody, it's Alex from Metal Master Kingdom. Welcome to another episode of Virtual Chats. And today on the show, we have the great honor of being joined by a man that really needs no introduction, but I'll provide you with one anyway. We are joined by Mr. Berserker himself, Mr. Zakk Wylde. Zakk, thank you so much for
What's
joining
happening? I'm here. Virtually, I'm here.
There you go. So again, thank you so much for joining. A true honor. I've been a fan for a while, so it's great to have you.
What do you think of that, Goose? Hold on a second.
Well, you have the virtual thing, but I got the real thing.
JD. How's it going, man? Nice. Awesome. So I guess I have to start off with this. So you're currently back on tour on the road in the US after a long time. Given the pandemic situation that's still going on, but with touring back in full swing, how's it going? And are you doing things differently this time in regards to venue rules or regulations?
I mean, it's like, it really is pretty awesome. I mean, we're having a blast out here on the tour and seeing everybody. So, no, it's kind of crazy. We played the rave in Milwaukee, going with the Milwaukee Berserkers out there. And it was almost 22 months apart. That was the last show we did before the world shut down. And when we got back up, we were playing there. It was basically 2 years since we did the last show. And it felt like we all went home for about a month and then we're back at it.
Yeah.
Like, looking at you on stage and we're all playing. It's just like, didn't we just do this like a month and a half ago? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm just saying, because it's like when you're doing the shows out here and we're doing like when you do a 4 in a row, when you get back up there the next night, I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, I go, is this the second set? I mean, it just seemed like the last show just ended like 20 minutes ago.
I know, right?
So, yeah, so, it just, time flies, man. I mean, so it just, like you said, it really feels like we went home for a little bit and we're right back at it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's awesome. We've been having a great time out here, man.
Awesome. So like, I definitely kind of share the same view as you, because as a guy who goes to shows, I was telling this in another interview like a while back, but back in the summer, I went to go see a local show here, which is the first one I attended in like a year and a half. I was expecting it to be like really different and all that, but it didn't really feel all that different. The only thing that was different was that everybody had to sit down instead of standing up, which kind of made no sense to be honest with you. Like, we couldn't stand at the front of the stage. Photographers couldn't go up. So we all had to sit down, and there were a couple of death metal bands playing and everyone's sitting down. That was the big contrast.
Yeah. It's like going to a crash up derby and there's no crashes.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, yeah, but no, I mean, like right now, everybody's having a good time. So it's just, like you said, it's almost kind of like, I mean, everybody's having a blast, almost like COVID never happened. So, it's really good. I mean, everybody's having a good time. So, yeah, I mean, that's, like I said, I can't say anything more. It's a blast to be back playing again.
Yep. It's great to hear. And speaking of great things as well, you're currently in the process of promoting the new Black Label Society album, Doom Crew Inc., which I had the chance to listen to for the last little bit. It's another great one. When did the process for this one begin and when did it end?
Well, no, my wife was just like, Barbara, she said, I think you and the guys will have you work on another record, this and that during the pandemic and stuff. We had worked on a box set, which was a nice trip down memory lane. And then we did like 3 videos for the box set, and the goofy infomercial and all that good stuff. And then we started working on a record. So it wasn't like we were just sitting at home doing nothing. But I was like one of the guys coming out. She's like, oh, they'll come out to the Vatican in about a month. It's like, all right, well, I got a month to write a record. So you just sit and you start writing riffs. I go out in my gym. I have, my garage. I have a practice amp out there, and I'll just start at a low volume. I'll have the reverb set on it, so it sounds like I'm at Madison Square Garden all by myself. And I'll just start writing riffs that I'm happy with. So, you get something that you had. If you don't get anything, you come back tomorrow and you start writing some more stuff. So, but usually, like when I write from beginning to middle. I write the whole thing. I don't just have bits and pieces laying around from all over the place. So you get inspired, you start writing, and that's that. But so when the guys came out, we had like 30 ideas. So there was like 30 songs.
Nice.
And Jeff and JD just came out, and Jeff, everything was already tracked. So Jeff would just play air drums and go, "What's this part? Is this the intro? We got the verse. Here's the pre-chorus, chorus, the bridge, the guitar solo, the this, that. Figure out the arrangement, and then go. All right, let me go in there and track it. And then 2-3 takes, Jeff would be done. Then he'd go, all right, let me go listen to the new song. Then he'd listen to something else. So like Jeff must have played on like 30 songs in about 7 days. So yeah, I mean, that's the way we go. I mean, back in the old days with the Boss, No More Tears and Miracle Man, and I mean, we play on these songs and we suck the life out of them before you go in and track them. You know what I mean? But
Right.
There's something that has to be stepping at, in regard that you don't want to waste studio time. So I understand that,
Yeah.
But like now, for me, it's just like, if you write something this morning and I'm like, what was that you just wrote? And you're like, oh, Zakk, I'm going to call it Knocking on Heaven's Door or whatever, and you got the lyrics and it's just those 3 chords. Yep. And I'm like, all right, let's track it right now. We don't need to go to rehearsals with the band. I mean, just you're in the studio, just track it and everyone will play to it. Because when you're playing with other great musicians, that can play, you don't need that,
Yep.
I mean, we usually save the rehearsals. That's when we're going to get ready for the tour. You know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
But, yeah, because I mean, if you write a song and we're in the studio, we're not going to go to rehearsals. You just write it, just have everybody play to it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
awesome. So, regards to the songwriting in Black Label, something that a question that kind of came to mind as you were telling the story. Given that you're the chief songwriter in Black Label, are you ever open to the idea of, if like one of your guys like JD or Jeff like came to you and say, hey, I got some riffs, are you open to like having the guys like submit riffs and ideas for future stuff?
Yeah, without a doubt. But I mean, like for me, it's almost kind of like Salvador Dali. I got a open sheet of paper there, like with Neil Young. Mm-hmm. You have Neil Young and Crazy Horse. So he needs, Crazy Horse. Neil enjoys doing all the writing.
Yep.
And we just come in as his guys, you know what I mean? And fill it all out. But for me, writing, I love doing the whole process. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like building the house, designing the house, building the house, painting it, and putting the furniture in it. And then put whatever Led Zeppelin posters and Black Sabbath posters I want to put up in the house. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So no, I enjoy the whole process.
Nice. Another thing that I wanted to ask you that always like really intrigued me about, especially comes to something about from your personality. You've always been like a really like goofy and silly, fun guy and all that, which is what all us fans love and all that. But one thing that you do that you kind of become known for is calling a lot of your peers like father or brother. I was always curious, like, where did that come from?
I think we were just a running joke that we had around here because, I think it was just like how to win any argument. I think we were talking about, because some of our buddies are atheists, and then one of our buddies is Jewish, so we were calling him Rabbi Sal, and then so we just had like every argument. So like no matter how to win every argument, like when you're around atheists, then you're an atheist. Then when you're Catholic, you're a Catholic, and then when you're Jewish, you're Jewish. So that's where the father thing came, and the rabbis, and like one of our buddies is an atheist. We're like, oh, it's Father Tom over there. It's just like he doesn't believe in anything, but that's Father Tom. So
nice.
That's where that whole thing came from. Yeah, it was just us just being a bunch of goofballs once again.
Awesome.
But in the hierarchy, that the Catholic hierarchy. That's just how we say like Saint Rhodes and Saint Jimmy and stuff like that. It's just because they're the patron saints of guitar. So,
exactly.
that's, in reference to them out of respect.
Exactly. So like, like Eddie Van Halen, you call him like Father Ed or, Father.
Well, he's King Edward, but he's Saint Edward now, you know what I mean?
Saint
the
Edward.
King.
Yeah, absolutely. Rest in peace, Eddie. When I told a bunch of my friends that I was going to be talking to you, one thing that a lot of them were asking me to ask you about is, like, do you have any unreleased stories regarding Dimebag?
No, a lot of it's pretty much out there, like all the goofy stuff. But
yeah.
No, like I said, Dime, in regards to Dime, like honoring him, I said the best way to remember Dime and Vinnie is and to honor their memory is just every day just to kick as much ass as you possibly can.
Mhm.
Because there are like two guys, I don't know if I knew it, two other guys that love life as much as them. Like every day they were like, oh, we're going to do something awesome. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And yeah, so that's the best way to honor them. I
Yep.
mean, like if you have an ass kicking day just by having a cup of coffee and reading a book that you really wanted to read, that's a great day. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's just, life's meant to be lived and just and enjoyed. That's what I tell my kids. I said, whatever it is you love in life, that's what you should be doing.
Yep. Absolutely.
Don't worry about what I think or your mother thinks or what we want you. We just want you to be happy.
Absolutely.
Just do what you love. I mean, that's the secret to life, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rest in peace, Dime, as well. Because we were just talking about Dime and we just touched briefly on Eddie Van Halen as well. Since both of you guys are huge Van Halen fans, I want to know, what are your top 3 Eddie Van Halen riffs?
Riffs would have to be, I love Hear About It Later. That's on Fair Warning.
Yep.
And obviously you got Mean Streets. That's on Fair Warning as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, another song I love is In a Simple Rhyme.
Oh, good one.
That's off of
Women and Children First. Yeah.
It's not one of the popular songs, but I mean, I just, the writing on that is amazing. I think it's great. So I'd use those as the top 3.
So would maybe like Fair Warning be like your favorite Van Halen record?
I think they're all amazing. I mean, there's moments on every one of them. I mean, so, but yeah, while we're talking right now, I guess, for, if we were on a car ride right now, I guess, throw Fair Warning on, there's a lot of great stuff on that one.
Absolutely.
Dirty Movies and all that stuff.
Absolutely. One thing that I also wanted to ask you, going back to the whole situation that was happening around the world, the pandemic, obviously it was a rough time for everybody. But on the flip side, a lot of people have said they've been able to find a lot of positives within the pandemic. For you, did you happen to find any positives?
Well, yeah, spending time with my family. I mean, between Zach Sabbath, playing with Oz, Black Label, Experience Hendrix, Generation X, playing with the fellas. For me, it was just, because I would have like maybe 10 days at home. I mean, I'm doing like over 250 shows a year or whatever it is, so I'm constantly on the road. Yep. So, and I love it, because that's what I'm blessed being able to do what I love. So, absolutely. But no, when I would have a chance to be home, I cherish every moment I have home. So I was blessed in the regard that I had almost 2 years at home with, bringing Sabbath to school, bringing him to Jeet Kune Do classes and stuff like that. And, spending time with the dogs, bringing the dogs for walks and just relaxing, So that's what it was for me. I think a lot of people were able to reconnect with their families and stuff like that, So I think, and you find out what's important, what I mean? So, but as much as I love the grind, it's for the world to slow down for a second, let everyone just, catch up with family and everything like that.
Absolutely. So I have a fan question that was submitted to us for you. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
This one comes from Cyrus. What is your maximum rep count on squats, bench, and deadlift?
I know. I mean, doing Hatfield squats. Hatfield squats. Fred Hatfield, the godfather of squats. I guess. With my safety squat bar, I ended up doing. I'll put like 410 up there. I think I knocked out for sets of 10. You know what I mean? So about that on that. But I mean, as far as benching, I'll throw. I'll throw. I mean, even I'll put up even 135 and just knock out 35 rep. Just rep out with it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because if my shoulder's killing me or something like that. But
yep.
Yeah, I mean I love powerlifting and I love bodybuilding as well. I mean, Dorian Yates and all the guys. So no, I mean lifting, for me it's therapeutic.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just I don't need somebody yelling at me or anything like that, or a training partner. I just like me by myself and the iron, and that's it. I mean, to me, it's therapy to just get away from everything,
Absolutely. So I just have two more questions, then I'll let you go. So the other exciting news is that you're working on a new album with Ozzy as well. Initially, you didn't play on the last one, Ordinary Man, but how did you come about to play on the new one?
Ozzy just called me up and said, Zakk, you're playing on this, and I'll see you on Tuesday. So that's it.
But you must be excited to like be playing alongside, Tony Iommi and Eric
Oh, it's
Clapton.
amazing. I mean, if you would have told me when I was 14 years old that I'd be on a record with Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, and Tony Iommi, and the Boss and Oz, forget about it. I would have, said you're dreaming. But
Yeah.
so yeah, it's definitely an honor to be on a record with all my heroes.
Right.
Totally.
I think the only one missing is Jimmy Page. Is that right?
Exactly. Totally. And Frank Marino, I got so many guitar heroes, it's crazy. But I mean, just to be on the record, it's a huge honor, man, for sure.
Awesome. Ozzy, if you're watching this, call Jimmy and Frank Marino up. All right. So last question, and then that's about it. So with Black Label, with the new record coming out, you're back on tour. Can we expect to see you guys back up here in Canada in the new year?
Yeah, of course. I mean, as soon as Canada opens back up again, and everybody's, you don't want people getting sick and stuff like that. So, I mean, it depends on what the protocols are and everything like that. As long as we can, it's all good, then, it's like America or whatever, then of course, because we love rolling through Canada.
Yep.
So, it's always a great time.
Yeah. Well, the good news is actually that here in the Toronto area, they lifted a bunch of the restrictions, and venues are allowed to be at almost or pretty much like full capacity again, and people can stand. So everything's on the up and up. Couple little things still here and there in place, but I think by when the springtime comes, like it'll be, all ready to go.
Yeah, welcome to Rockville. I mean, those festivals are like 100,000 people at the shows, and it's, it looks like things are like completely back to normal, So, I mean, which is great, so it's all good as long as nobody's getting sick and stuff like that.
Yep,
so it's great.
Absolutely. Okay, well, Zakk, I just got to say thank you so much once again. It was a true honor. I wish you all the best on with the current tour dates and the upcoming record, and looking forward to seeing you guys up here in the new year.
All right, right back at you, man. Great talking to you, brother.
Awesome, Zakk. All the best. Thank you so much.
Take care, brother.
Okay.
You got it, buddy.
See ya.
Cheers, my brother.
See ya.